about the summit. It's good to talk about these issues. It would be even better to do something about it. Let me illustrate. I used to be the governor of Pakistan Central Bank. Pakistan is the world's fifth largest country. It's also a poor country. The number of people who live below the poverty line in Pakistan, just to give you some perspective, that number is more than the entire population of Spain. Last year, in the summer, June to October, Pakistan was afflicted by massive floods due to climate change. The UN estimated that there has been damage of around 30 billion US dollars to the economy. The United Nations then held a summit for Pakistan in Geneva in January of this year, in which several billion dollars were pledged. Of that amount, a few hundred million at most have trickled in for Pakistan to deal with the calamity of floods caused by global climate change. So my question, as those who have the ability to assist head to the Paris conference, my question to them is, where is the money?
Yeah, I'm curious then in what you're saying, how much do you anticipate that low-income countries will be given a voice and will be brought to the table at this conference?
There will be voice, there will be pledges, but if history is any guide, I think the world will not have an adequate mechanism to monitor how those pledges convert to actual inflows for developing countries. I want to illustrate. The magnitudes are alarming. According to the IMF, in 1981, on average, a low-income country got about 8% of its GDP in inflows from official countries and other lenders abroad. 8% of GDP was the amount of assistance they were getting in 1980 to support their development needs. In 2021, Sam, that figure was 2% of GDP. These are IMF numbers. So it is now 1/4. And at the same time, the debt of these countries has more than doubled. In 2010, on average, according to the IMF, the debt of low and middle income countries was around 35% of GDP. In 2020, just in 10 years, it was around 65% of GDP. And the IMF projects that it's going to rise further to 75% of GDP over the next 10 years. So my question is, when over the several decades, the amount of financial assistance has gone down, the debt of these countries has gone up. When you look at the future, we need concrete monitorable measures to see how pledges are translating into actual inflows for developing countries.